My name is Paul, and I like to go places. I also really like to repair my Jeep. No, I don't. So yeah, anyway. I think today's video is just going to be basically talking a little bit about some of the more recent changes I made to the Jeep, as well as the repairs I made, and then let's just go off-roading some random places, because it is a beautiful day out. Alright, so the first order of business, I finally put the Bushwhacker fender flares on the front. I had them on the rear already for a while, and then the weather where I live kind of went bad again, so I was waiting for a chance to put the fronts on. And yeah, honestly, I don't really like the look of the front ones. I think I'd prefer the factory fender flares, but unfortunately, my choice to run the wider tires means that I have to have the fender flares come out to cover, or come close to the where the tread ends on the tire, because if I don't do that, the vehicle would become a bit of a cop magnet, and I could get a ticket and sent to inspection, because I think in our laws in BC, Canada, state that you can't have your tire tread poking out beyond the ends of your fenders. So in terms of ease of installation, it wasn't too bad. Everything's all muddy already. I don't like the quality of the product, to be honest. Well, compared to what I paid for it. So I knew I needed to go with some sort of extended fender flares to match the tires. And I think this was the best looking one, in my opinion. I didn't like the kind that were like rounded down and stuff like that when they were that large. So, but yeah, I paid $600 Canadian for all of the fender flares, and that was like a sale price. And I feel like I got maybe $200 worth of quality. So, like the cuts along the edge for this, they weren't like very even, I don't think. Some of the screw holes that are along here, they were like drilled in on weird angles from the factory. It's like, why? I guess they're just lazy. And yeah, like the actual fit doesn't really line up that great with the fenders, so yeah. I mean, whatever, this isn't a show Jeep, so it's not like I care that much, but I just don't like having to pay that much for a product, which, I mean, in my opinion, is kind of overpriced for the quality you get. But other than that, I mean, they work. It wasn't too bad to install. The instructions are adequate, so yeah, whatever. I guess it does the job. And I did finally get my center caps for my wheels, so got those installed on all sides. I mean, I could have just kept running them without the center caps, but I didn't want what's behind where the cap is to just like get all muddy and rusty and stuff like that. So yeah, and I think I like the look more with the cap installed, so yeah. Now let's get to the real pain in the ass. I was fairly certain I had an exhaust leak from somewhere under the hood. It's possible that I still do, but what I did do is I replaced my exhaust manifold as well as the gasket, and let me tell you how just miserable that task is. So yeah, you got to take the intake manifold out completely. I kind of thought, oh, maybe if I just have it dangling off to the side, that might give me enough room to work. Nope, that's not really the case. So yeah, basically everything had to come out, and then you pull the exhaust manifold off. It's a two-piece design for this year of Jeep, and after I took the manifold out, I examined it. There was no cracks, so that probably was not my problem, unfortunately. But I did already have new manifold from Rock Auto. It's the same two-piece design, just like the cheapest Chinese one that was on the site. So I already had the whole thing disassembled. I figured, might as well just put the new one on. And then I went with the Felpro gasket, which is like the original factory one that came out of it was like kind of like a thin metal type, and the Felpro looks like it has some sort of coating on it which might help seal better with uneven surfaces. Like if you're manifold is not quite as straight on the side or something like that. So I put the Felpro gasket on there, installed the manifold, getting the down pipe connected back up, kind of a pain in the ass. There's like blood all over my engine bay. As I was working, I sliced open my knuckle at some point and didn't notice. And then I started noticing red drops in various places. So I looked at my hand and it was all red. And I was on a time crunch. I had to get this work done. So yeah, I just like super glued my hand back together and continued working. So, but yeah, after all of that was put together, it did sound better. But the noise that I thought was an exhaust leak kind of eventually came back again. And then I thought, okay, maybe it was the downpipe section that was leaking. And I put some real beefy bolts on there, torqued them down real good. And like the sound still kind of like just kind of comes back a little bit here and there. And I don't know if it's an actual exhaust leak. If it is, maybe it's behind the heat shielding around the catalytic converters down there that I just can't see. But at this point, I think I'm done caring. And unfortunately, after I did all this work, a funny thing happened. Okay, so over here, this is a Canadian vehicle. So over here, I do have the DRL module, which turns my driving lights on for daytime. It's basically, it runs your high beams at a very dim setting. That's what this module does. And then when you turn your actual lights on, it flips over to your normal lights, right? And when you turn your lights off, this module flips them back over to the high beam at a very dim setting, right? This never worked when I bought my Jeep. And I didn't care, right? Like I didn't really care if this thing had driving lights or not. So I wasn't aware that this was actually a system that was installed in this Jeep. I just kind of figured it didn't come with it. But after I did all this, I must have like bumped this while I was doing the work. And after I had everything put together, the driving lights started working again. And I figured, okay, I must have hit the wires. So I figured whatever, it doesn't matter to me. But then a couple days later, I noticed that as soon as I get on the highway and I reach speeds in excess of like 60 kilometers an hour, my headlights would start to like flicker and dim every now and then. And the faster I'd go on the highway, the more frequently it would happen. And it was at the point where I couldn't drive on the highway at night because my lights would just keep, you know, changing brightness constantly over and over again. It's like I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I don't have LEDs. I have the H4 conversion, the Hella H4 kit or whatever the hell it is. So, you know, they're still just normal bulbs. So I didn't really think it was that sort of problem with the lights. But then I decided that, okay, the only thing that's actually changed is the driving lights magically started working again. So how about I kill that? So I went on Google, tried to find a picture of this module. The internet is completely useless. When you search like Jeep TJ DRL module, all it does is show you the pictures of different vehicles that are not Jeep TJ. So, but yeah, eventually I discovered that this is indeed the module, and then I unplugged it. And what do you know? The problem with my headlights went away. So, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to bother replacing that. The part is like $100 at Rock Auto. I'll think about it. I don't know. And the last thing that I discovered while I was rolling under the Jeep doing all my exhaust stuff, the body mount here, the part where it mounts to has vanished. I don't know how long it's been like that, but yeah, that was an interesting discovery. So what I'm going to probably end up doing is just getting a square piece of metal with kind of like a recessed portion of it. I don't know what the hell words, blah, blah. And then I'll try to like weld it in here, and hopefully that gives me enough room for this piece to still kind of bolt up into it or something like that. I don't know. I'm not going to like try and find the same exact body panel and cut all of this crap out and get it installed professionally. Like, I just want the structural support. I mean, yeah, like I have no idea how long it's actually been like that because I just noticed it. So, I mean, realistically, I'm probably sure I could just keep driving it as is, but I'd rather have a solution put in there. So, yeah, at some point I'll mess around with this and do a half-assed job welding something in there to get that support back, I think. So, yeah, that was fantastic. So yeah, as you can see, my off-roading adventure for the day already started. My Jeep is already covered in mud, and I am at Boot Lake here, which I'll drive to later in this video. So yeah, I'm just gonna basically spend the day off-roading around in the mountains because yeah, it is a beautiful day out. Okay, so the first stop that I was going to make was the Reservoir Lake wreck site. Unfortunately, I had to turn around because there are a lot of downed trees that are just a little bit too big for me to cut down with a handsaw, because otherwise I'd probably be here all day cutting down trees. There's evidence that other people have come through here with like chainsaws to clear this road, but yeah, there's more downed trees, and I don't have a chainsaw. It's something I probably should actually bring with me. But yeah, this is kind of like a fun off-road trail. It's a pretty rough road in some spots. You definitely need high clearance to get through here, and generally I don't think you necessarily need four-wheel drive except in the muddy sections, which is like right after all the snow melted here. That's comprises a lot of this road. So yeah, it's just a very rough trail, but I don't think it's overly difficult to get through here. Oh, pretty fun though. Nice place to kind of like practice off-roading. Okay, so we're just getting into some of the real muddy stuff I already had to drive through to make it up this way. So I mean, as you can see, there's still a little bit of snow on the ground, and oh, there's a big mud pit. Ah, come on. Yeah. I didn't really want to get the Jeep all muddy this trip, but yeah, I guess it's gonna be unavoidable. So I mean, there's a lot of snow that that gets up in these mountains. So yeah, as soon as it starts melting, just everything gets covered in mud, including myself. Actually, I've got mud on my arms already. So yeah. Okay, so the next spot we're gonna take a look at is Boot Lake. This is a pretty rocky trail, and it's also fairly narrow in some spots. So I wouldn't recommend trying to get out here with like a camper or something like that, but other than that, it's not a very difficult road. It's just extremely bumpy, as you can hear. And my rooftop tent up there is squeaking away. Yeah. There was, I was up here a couple weeks ago trying to get here, but there was still a lot of snow that hadn't melted off yet. It's mostly gone now. Oh yeah, this is really bumpy. Okay, I think I'll just pick up when I actually get to the lake. Okay, so we're out here at Boot Lake. Pretty much all the snow is melted. I mean, there's just a little bit left here and there, but yeah, it's a very nice view here. And I'm, of course, the only person here. But yeah, it's a nice place to stop. Anyway, I'm gonna just head back up to the Jeep and actually film the intro that you've already seen. So yeah. Okay, so now we're at a place called Island Lake, and I didn't even know this was here. This is actually right across from where the Paradise Lake wreck site is. As I was looking on the satellite view of the area, I noticed this was just right next to it, and I didn't even realize it. So yeah, decided to check it out today. There's just like a handful of campsites up in here, so this would be, I think, a nicer place to stay than the Paradise Lake wreck site, which I think I covered in my last video. It's just like a couple spots, and it's right next to the Paradise Lake Resort, like literally right next to it. So yeah, but yeah, this is definitely a really peaceful area. So I've just been kind of exploring the area off of that Paradise Lake Road that I was on, kind of way off in that direction. And this is a spot I came to before, and then I stopped because of this. The rest of this road just doesn't exist anymore. However, I'm thinking it's possible I might be able to cross further up that way. I think other people have done exactly that, so I don't know, let's see what we can do. Well, it's not exactly a whole lot of room here. This is a big kind of angle right here, and of course there's rocks that I'm sure they put there on purpose to stop people like me from crossing this, but I don't know, maybe we'll give it a shot. All right, well, I'm in the water. Let's see if I can just power through this. Oh man. Okay, and on the other side, just give me enough power to make it up here. Make sure there's no rocks in my way. What the hell? Oh shit. Ow. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess that works. Yeah, so that was a bit nerve-wracking because that's going to be like the first time I've crossed a stream with the Jeep. Now, I mean, if you're in like a fragile environment, I wouldn't be doing stuff like this, but this is like a logged area. So yeah, I'm not too concerned about it. But yeah, that was not too bad coming in there. And then once you get up here, it was a bit rough because, I mean, obviously this land is not very even. And I came right through this huge dip here. And so now this road, I think, does meet up with another logging road or something further up that way. And then I think that direction is Merritt. I don't think I'm gonna go all the way up there, but I mainly just wanted to do this obstacle for fun. So right now I'm just kind of driving in a field, I guess. The reason I am is because there's a structure up here that I want to take a look at. So, oh, wow. This is not even remotely close to being flat land. Yeah. Let's take a look at this. So that stream that we just crossed, I think is just over that way a little bit. I don't know what this is. Oh, there's a tree that's kind of collapsed on it, and roof is caving in a little bit. Oh wow, okay. Caving in quite a bit over here. Gotta watch out for rusty nails. Let's take a look inside. Okay, not really that much to see in here. Yeah, interesting. I don't know, maybe like a small cabin of some sort. Some barrel here. Maybe this used to be part of like a bed structure over here. Who knows, but yeah. Really not much left, and this does not look like it's structurally stable at all. I should probably get out of here. So yeah, finding random stuff like this out in the middle of nowhere is one of the reasons why I bought my Jeep. So it gives me the ability to just drive out in places where my car would obviously never get me. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna continue on away from the stream to see what else is here, and then probably on my way back I'll cross back over the stream. Otherwise it's a very long way to go back to Merritt and then all the way up to where I was. So yeah, So I just came down some random side road off of another road that I connected to. I don't know, there's a bunch of metal there. That's weird. But then this is interesting. So there's a device here that can open up a waterway that would then have a second stream of water go kind of like parallel to this other one here. This one kind of goes off there. I don't know, this might have been for getting water to another part of land that someone owns or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah. All of the land that's kind of like surrounding me right now, I think is all part of like Douglas Lake Ranch or something like that. They pretty much own like everything around Merritt, so but yeah, I mean, this doesn't look like it's like super old, so I don't know, I'm assuming it has a purpose. So but yeah, just one of the random neat things that I come across when I'm out exploring. Okay, so we're back at the river crossing, and let's go over it. All right. Ugh. So I mean, a little bit bumpy, but yeah, not overly difficult. And I'm not sure how deep that water was. I don't think it was very deep at all. But yeah, this is pretty much exactly why I bought the Jeep, so I could get to places where others typically can't. So yeah. Anyway, this will take me back to the Okanagan connector, to the Elkhart exit area, which is how I came in. And yeah, I think I'll just go see if I can find more places to explore today. Okay, so basically I'm still in the same general area, and I've come across that stream again. Now, I don't know, I think I can probably fit, not on the bridge obviously, but if I come down here and then over the water there and then up, that should probably work. Now, let's give it a shot. All right, I'm going to be using my low gear here just because I might need that torque to slowly make it around my obstacles here. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so I came out down there, and then there's another road that goes here, and that is somewhere we were actually earlier today. That's the road to Boot Lake. And then it kind of splits off in a few directions over there and over there. Yeah, interesting. So there's a lot of, it's kind of like a maze. There's a lot of these side roads up in this region, and you really have to use the like the satellite view of the area to really understand kind of where you're going to end up when you take some of these roads. So yeah, interesting. But I think that's probably going to wrap it up today. I'm going to continue off-roading for the rest of the day, and maybe I'll make another video with clips, because I'm sure the runtime on this one is probably going to start getting long. So yeah, all right, well, thanks for watching.